I promise you, I'm not an Apple fanboy. What's up, everyone? It's the boy His Tech here, back in with another video. And like I said, I promise you, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I might seem like it sometimes because most of my stuff are Apple products, but I'm not. As I hold this iPhone in my hand right now, but yes, I'm not an Apple fanboy. And first things first, this is a new video with I'm using my old DSLR camera, a Nikon D5100. So let me know how this quality is. The autofocus is a little bit funky right now, so I have it off. So hopefully my face is in a clear focus. If it's not, then but that's what I'm gonna hope for. But right here in my hand, I have an iPhone 12 Pro Max. I'm gonna tell you why you should buy an iPhone, because to me, this is like the go-to device for most people. Not for everyone, but for most people. And I'm gonna go through 5 reasons why I believe you should pick one of these up. And this video, was actually inspired by one of my coworkers who just got an iPhone. So I was like, you know what? Let's make a video about why iPhones are really cool. So let's get into this one. Quick note too: if the audio sounds bad, I apologize. Cause I'm mostly trying to figure out this audio with this camera system. Something is up with it. But first things first, why you should get one of these? Well, my first reason, iOS is the software that you're gonna use with iPhones, and honestly, I feel like iOS is the best mobile OS you could probably find. And the reason I said because it's just so simple to use, and that might be a turn for some people that it's so simple to use and so simplistic that it might turn some people off. But honestly, because it's so simple, I think I think this is like the best way to go. Just because it's so simple, I think that's like honestly the best reason why you should go with an iPhone, because he wants an OS that's not gonna be complicated to use, the settings are easy to get through. And okay, I like Android too. This is not me saying don't buy an Android phone. This is just giving a reason why you should get an iPhone. But Android could get sometimes complicated for some people, and I know with me, and for me, it's not gonna be too complicated. But there's people out there who might find using an iPhone a little bit more difficult. I mean, sorry, an Android a little bit more difficult. So that's why, that's one of the reasons why I think iOS is so good, because iOS is just easy to use. Oh, the App Store. There's a ton of good apps in the App Store, way more apps than you can find on Android platforms, and there's not a lot of bloatware like there is on Android. And sometimes that bloatware can get annoying. And you think all these cheap apps are made to the Google Store. You just want to find what you're looking for, and iOS has most of those apps. That's why one of the reasons why honestly iPhone. Another thing with iOS is that yes, you only got the app drawer. You don't have your home page, but they are fixing it up a little bit. They have like widgets now in some places in like the home screen. You can customize your home screen a lot now with the new iOS that came out. I believe iOS 14, and there's just so much you can do with it. And honestly, sometimes you just need something simple. And another big reason why I love iOS is reason number two why you should get an iPhone is connectivity. Okay, look, if you're getting into the Apple ecosystem, right? Put the phone down. If you get into the Apple ecosystem, then you start off with the phone. You're gonna be tempted to want to get a laptop. You're gonna be tempted to get a where's my Apple Watch at? To you're gonna be tempted to pick up one of these, and then you're just gonna be tempted to pick up the whole freaking Apple Store at some point. Like, look, I you remember like I could go for days. You can see I think you can see the pros right there, the Max Apple ecosystem. Let me tell you, I never witnessed an ecosystem. I'm gonna keep looking at the camera, but I never witnessed an ecosystem honestly that is so intuitive, so connected. AirDrop is something that I didn't think would be so important to me. Let me tell you something. I record videos on my phone, right? Or I used to record videos on my phone. I would just AirDrop them straight to my MacBook. I would add them on my MacBook and it goes straight to going straight to YouTube. It was just easy. I didn't have to plug in my phone, then I had to drag files, wait for the cop. You had to wait for stuff to copy to go to AirDrop, but it's usually pretty quick. Depending on the internet, and it's just it's so nice to have simple features like that. And like I have all my app messages everywhere I go. I go on my laptop, all my messages still there. FaceTime anywhere. You could. What else you could do? This is so you have your file system now that they have on iOS, so you can access all your files in the cloud on your MacBook. That alone too is amazing. Like you can't do that stuff with Android and Windows is kind of like become a little bit buddy buddy, especially with Samsung and Windows. But outside of that, if you're just getting like a OnePlus phone or a Google phone, you don't get that same connectivity, and it's just not as intuitive. Like yes, you could technically do the same thing with like Google Drive or say OneCloud, but it's just not as good as using a system with all Apple products. I'm telling you now, it's just amazing. And then you go with like the headphones. I could turn these headphones on, and then I could connect these headphones with my phone, my MacBook, my iPad, my Apple Watch now, because it could take Bluetooth headphones. So honestly, it's just why not? To me, that connectivity is just so important. And if you're gonna get into if you know you're gonna have a MacBook, you have no reason. In my opinion, you have no reason to buy an Android phone. Just get the iPhone, and you're gonna see how life is so much better. All right, next on the list. That was two reasons. So let's go through reason number three. Yes, right now I'm using a yes, right now I'm using a DSLR camera, but before using the DSLR, I was using my iPhone to record all my videos. And you be the judge of this. Which quality do you think is better? Do you think my DSLR Nikon D5100 is better than the videos you've seen with this phone? Because honestly, I don't know. And like honestly, like you have Apple has shown videos. You've seen stuff on you this videos on YouTube. You can record a straight up movie with your iPhone. The camera system is just that good when it comes to iPhones. But let me show you. The camera system is also good on Android phones. The Galaxy S21 Ultra, S21 Ultra camera system is pretty good. It's quite honestly probably amazing. The one I had the Note 20 Plus Ultra, that camera system is also pretty amazing. And most flagship phones are going to get you amazing camera system. But for me personally, like why this camera system to me is better is two major reasons. One, night mode on the iPhones is way better than you would get on any Galaxy phone, and honestly, it rivals Google. Google's night mode is probably still the best, but iPhone's night mode rivals it. But where is most important is video quality. Video quality on iPhones is just tremendous. I think it's honestly the best video quality you ever get on phones. When I compared it to my Note 20, it just wasn't the same. It just wasn't as good. The video quality on iPhones is just extremely better. And if you're someone who's gonna be taking constant videos of like I don't know your pets or your kids or anything in the world, you go sightseeing, you want to have one device to walk with, the iPhone is gonna be that thing because the videos on there is just so great. One thing I wish iPhone did have was like a light focus video mode, so I could like blur out the background. Samsung does do that pretty decent. At times it could be a little bit weird. It could be a little bit shoddy, but it's they have the feature. Apple doesn't have that feature, so portrait videos, Apple, that is do that. I won't even use this camera no more. I just use an iPhone forever. Okay, so another reason here, and this is not just why you should get iPhone 12 Pro Max. This is why you should get an iPhone in general. There is now, I will say now, because before in the past there was not a lot of options, but now there's a ton of options to get into using an iPhone. Like you don't have to spend $1,000+ to get a Pro Max. You could spend what's the cheapest iPhone out here right now? I believe you get the iPhone. Let's see. iPhone prices. Let's see. So the cheapest iPhone they can get right now is only $400. And yes, it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but most people probably buy phones on plans these days, and that's probably gonna be like $16 a month, which is not terrible. But the cheapest iPhone you get is $400, and that is the iPhone SE. So the entry into getting an iPhone is extremely cheap. You don't have to spend over $1,000 to get an iPhone to get the best features because honestly, the camera on the SE is pretty good for what I remember. And if you want to go up a little bit, you could buy the iPhone. They still sell the iPhone XR, which honestly I think is have one of the best camera systems that Apple ever put out. Which is weirdly enough because I felt like the XR camera was way better than the what was the 10s camera and the 10, which is just crazy to believe, but I think it really was. And because yeah, I thought it was, and the XR is only $500, $499. If so, you could get a modern looking iPhone with no home button, no Touch ID, but Face ID for only $500, and that is pretty cheap. In my opinion, that's like a steal. You can't go wrong with that. To get an iPhone, a number of iPhones were like expensive to get on your plan. But now it's like iPhones are getting more affordable by the day, and there's so much options to get iPhones, and not just price range, but size range. Like if you don't want the biggest of the biggest iPhone, you could get the iPhone Mini for. It's still gonna be expensive because it is a flagship device with flagship specs because it's part of the 12 line. But you can get the iPhone 12 Mini, and that if you like small phones, that's the phone to get. If you like big phones, get the Pro Max. If you just like a regular sized phone in the middle between that, just get the regular 12 or the 11 because the 11 is still out there to buy if you want to save some bucks, and you're still gonna get most of the updates. And honestly, the difference between the 11 and the 12 is not huge if you're not gonna get this phone because of the lidar sensor and the better camera stabilization. But besides that, the 11 is still a really good buy. So if you want to save money, go there. If you want to save more money, the XR is there. If you want to save even more money, the SD is still a perfect phone to buy. And the fifth and but not last reason to get an iPhone, and honestly, I think this is the most important reason to get an iPhone. And you know what I'm gonna say. I feel like most people probably know where I'm going with this one. If you don't, I don't know, you figure it out. But the number one reason why I think you should get an iPhone, honestly, is iMessage and FaceTime. Look, you don't want to be the person. Okay, I don't want to say you don't want to be the person, but you know, we have your group chats and people making your group chats, and then you know, you see someone has an Android, you know, you have the green bubble, so everyone end up sending texts over iMessages. You know, you can't really send, you can't name your group chat something funny. You can't. There's a lot of things to it, but honestly, iMessage alone to me is one of the reasons why I keep my iPhone instead of going to Android because all my friends, anyone who's important in my life that I talk to, for the most part, except for my brother and my dad, has an iPhone and they use iMessage and they use FaceTime and it's just simple connection with them. So like, do group FaceTime, the group messages, anything like that. It just makes it more simple for me to communicate with those close to me. And honestly, who doesn't like iMessage games? You know, you can play pool in your text messages. You can play pool. You can play Uno. You can play a bunch of them. You can play Battleship. Like like come on, that alone for me is one of the reasons why I go with iPhone over anything else because iMessage and FaceTime is just so important. And when I switched over to a Note, and with the Note, look, I love the Note. The Note was a good phone, the Note 10, but I had to use Google Meet something like that to communicate with my girlfriend and other friends, and that was just like that's not cool, you know. And I just wanted to like simply FaceTime her or FaceTime my friends or message them, and then I had to. I didn't want to. I don't know. It felt really weird. I felt really awkward using it. So I was glad to switch back to iPhone. I sent the phone back, and honestly, I just so much rather to use iMessage and FaceTime for communication because it's just simplicity and it's there, you know, and it's integrated with all my different products. I don't have to worry about when I can text someone if my phone's not near me, but I'm on my laptop. It's just really nice to have. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching this video and to reasons why you should get an iPhone as your next phone, or if you just already know, if you already have an iPhone, you want to switch over, I just reassure you to why you should keep your iPhone. But no, seriously, this is just for people who's looking to get an iPhone, looking to switch over. I might do a video on why you should get Android. I don't have an Android device on me right now, but I have used Android in the past plenty of times to know enough about it to why people should pick up an Android. And a lot of it is kind of like counter reasons to why you should get an iPhone, except for the iMessage stuff. There's no way, no one's being that. Until Apple puts iMessages on Android and put like a monthly subscription on it, ain't happening. But I feel the one thing most people get iPhones for is honestly that. So there it is. Tell me how the video quality is. I feel the video quality should be pretty decent. Hopefully it's focused on my face. The sound, I'm not too sure. I really don't. When I edit this video, I'm about being for world trouble if it sounds bad, but hopefully I can figure that out. It might be the camera itself, I heard, because the mic works pretty good on my iPhone, so I don't know why it wouldn't work good here. So if it is the camera, I'm going to have to, I can't really buy a new one because I don't got that kind of money, but we see. I just may go back to my iPhone. But anyway, thank you for watching. Appreciate it so much, and peace out, y'all.